with me now is Cole Payne, one of the producers for the new film Bang Bang. Cole, how are you doing this morning?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for talking with me today. Now, Bang Bang, can you give us just a little brief synopsis of what this film is about?
Yeah, it's a story about a sort of a curmudgeon ex-boxer who gets his grandson that he doesn't really have much of a relationship sort of dropped off on his front steps when his daughter had to take work in another state. And so he, sees something in him in the sort of boxing realm. So he kind of pushes him into boxing and then he sort of pushes him in to a fight, sooner than he probably should because of his own agenda. And of course, things don't turn out as he plans and, relationships and situations and everything has to be figured out.
Well, it's a great film, amazing cast altogether. We'll talk a little bit more about cast later on, but what drew you to this project?
Um, so the director, Vincent Grashaw, is the one who originally found the script. It was somebody that he had known, had passed it along to him, and he really liked it. Vincent, I've known for years as a friend, and we had worked on developing a few projects over the years. And one of the projects that we kind of, went through and eventually got made, What Josiah Saw. That was our first feature project together. And then with that same group of investors and Vincent, he he showed Bang Bang to us. We both, everybody liked the script. We're like, all right, this is something we got to make.
Absolutely. Did you have any experience in the boxing world before this project?
No, I don't have any experience boxing besides, being a little kid and having the gloves and my brother and I going at it in the living room. But outside of that, no real experience. Vincent did have a background, actually. He trained as a boxer when he was younger, and his grandfather was a boxer. So he is in that world and very much a boxing fan. Like I'm a fan, but not an avid fan,
Mhm.
I'm not watching every single match that comes out, but I do enjoy the sport, but it's just really the characters and the relationships and the story is what was what really grabbed me.
It was definitely very good characters, great story, and like I said earlier, an amazing cast. But taking on that leading role, Bernard Bang Bang Rozyski is the one and only Tim Blake Nelson. What
Yeah.
kind of led to his casting, and what was it like getting to see him take on this raw character?
Yeah, when we did the film, obviously you start talking about who is the right person for this character, and it's just like, and just amongst speaking of names, Tim's name got brought up, and you don't necessarily look at Tim Blake Nelson and think boxer, he's got a slighter stature and things like that. I mean, if you're a boxing fan, you clearly know like they're boxers of all shapes and sizes, but again, if your movie prototype boxer, Tim didn't necessarily organically necessarily fit that, but we're like, he's such a fantastic actor and can just really embody any character that he takes on from his past work. We reached out to Tim. He loved the script as well, and he's like, I'm in. He started training, with in a boxing gym in New York that has a big, list of pro boxers that have worked there and all that kind of stuff. So like, he cut weight, he started eating like a boxer, thinking like a boxer, walking and talking like one, and I think that's what really enabled him to embody that character.
He definitely embodied the character very well, and like you said, I was kind of surprised to see him playing a boxer. I was like, he doesn't feel like the boxer kind, but I think he did really pull that character off very well, and he's gotten a lot of praise for the role so far, which is
Mm.
amazing.
Yeah.
Now, in the last 5 to 10 years, sports films have become quite popular. A lot of them are, biopics. But what kind of sets this sports film apart from other ones that have been out recently?
Definitely. Well, I think what was nice about this is the writer Will Janowitz, and and again what originally drew Vince and then sort of myself to it was it wasn't just a boxing film. It was about boxers after the life of boxing is what we're really trying to highlight here and show that it's not this even as a prize winning fighter you're not necessarily going to have a great life afterwards. You know, it's like the money comes, the money goes. You know, a lot of people who are your colleagues are either, now disabled or, have passed away from complications of the sport or even depression and things like that. And so we just really wanted to highlight sort of the mentality and sort of some of the things, the downside of the things that can come along with the sport too. It's like, it's very much we are fans of the sport too, but it's really, something that's interesting. There's a statistic. It's like some of the boxers that have like really gotten hurt or even, passed away in the ring, a lot of them have a family member in their corner. And it seems that, like family is always just maybe pushing a little bit harder. And that was a bit of the story too, that even though Bang Bang's father did that to him in the backstory, you don't really see that in the movie, but it's part of his backstory that you find out about. He also in turn does it to his grandson, just because this is his way to get back in. It's like it's his way to, still be relevant,
Mhm.
so to speak, in the sport. And it's just like, so he kind of puts, personal safety even of a family member aside, and just because it's like, well, I was driven this way, this is how you should be driven this way. And then, obviously, he comes to a realization at some point, but it's that was the important thing about the story to me.
Yeah. Family can definitely be a great support system, but also once in a while it can also lead to a downfall as well. For audiences who are preparing to go watch Bang Bang, what is your hope for them to take away after watching the film?
Well, I mean, it's like you kind of mentioned earlier, we've gotten a lot of great reviews. We played some great festivals with the film. People talk about Tim's performance, as one of his highlights of his career and things like that. So I hope, even though we are a smaller film, people were able to find it and check out the film. We're going to have a sort of a small theatrical release mid-September. We'll see how many theaters we end up in, and then at some point after that, it'll end up on all the rental platforms and things. But it's just really, again, it's not, you don't have to be a boxing fan to watch this film. Again, it's really about the characters and their motivation and how they grow, and again, the ups and downs of family. And so it's like I really just want people to pay attention to the character arcs and just see, how they grow and how they've changed, and something to think about when you walk away from the film.
Yeah. Now, moving away from Bang Bang for just a minute, I'd be remiss to say if I left out that you are from Missouri and you are actually
Yes.
from Russellville. So, what was your journey from growing up here in the Ozarks to entering that world of the film industry?
Yeah, being from a 800 person town in Missouri, I never really thought the film business was a career path. I did end up majoring in entertainment management down in Springfield, so Missouri State. And that was just because honestly threw field parties in my grandfather's field and like, oh, entertainment management, that's something, sounds like, something I could be good at. Always been a film fan. Had some friends from Jefferson City that were moving out to LA to pursue careers in the industry. So I road tripped out with them. Was like, all right, I got to move out here. And met a woman in a bar. She asked what I did. She was a talent manager. I started interning for her for free. Started working on producing a book that she had optioned. Um, and then ended up going out on my own, producing some films, and then started my current company, Traverse Media, in 2013. Relocated back to Missouri from Los Angeles and 2020 during the pandemic. And yeah, and just got involved with helping draft the film and TV tax incentive for Missouri, and trying to, down at the Capitol, testifying and being on the sidelines for the debates, helping get that through. And now that we've got it, staying here and able to do my job here in my home state, and not have to travel elsewhere too much.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm definitely excited to see how the film industry starts to grow in Missouri after the tax incentive passed a couple of years ago. Now, for someone who might be looking to get into the world of producing or just the film industry in general, do you have a piece of advice that they might want to go with?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, something that is very interesting is that we have over 30 schools and places of higher education here in Missouri that offer film programs of different areas. So up until that incentive passed, we were exporting workers to other states that we are educating here in our home state. So now those people graduating those programs, they have an opportunity to stay at home and create a brand new workforce in Missouri. So I'm really excited about that. That's the things that I would say. Reach out to the film offices around Missouri. You know, we've got the Missouri Film Office based out of Jefferson City. We've got the St. Louis Film Office. We got a Kansas City Film Office. We've got some film offices forming down in Southwest Missouri. So there's really an initiative. Film and Mo is the organization that I'm currently president of. That is the nonprofit that pays for the lobbyists that are they're supporting the film and tax incentive because we have to stay down at the Capitol and do
Mhm.
things like extend the sunset, change things that aren't working, things like that, just to try to make it the best bill possible that works for productions and for Missouri. Film and Mo is a good organization to just become a member of. We try to keep people informed on what's going on in the state as well. And I would honestly say just like lean into the Missouri attitude and work ethic, you know, because it's like when I went to LA, I interned for months and I was probably working 50, 60 hours a week for free and working a job on the nights and the weekends to pay my bills. And I'm meeting a lot of younger people that, you know, they get my information and they don't reach out to me and you know and like some and it's just like or they don't reach out to me till like a 2 weeks later and it's just really take initiative. I think just showing a hard work ethic, it's like making a film is not rocket science, but yes, you need to get into the industry and you need people to notice you and they and to bring you along for the ride to give you those first steps in the positions. And it's like just take every opportunity within reason that you
Mhm.
can. You know, it's like work on short films, work on feature films, intern, be a production assistant. Don't think that you should start out at the top. You know, get in there and learn, and people will notice it, and you can advance that way. And we are again, looking for a whole brand new workforce for
Yeah.
this here in Missouri. We consistently have film and TV production throughout the year now. So this is really an opportunity to potentially stay employed all year round working here in Missouri on films and television productions.
Yeah, Missouri is definitely going to boom in the next few years within the industry, which is super exciting. Now, is there any projects that you might be working on that you might want to tease?
Yeah, absolutely. So I have a film that is finished that was my first Missouri production called The Jester 2. So that is, as you can imagine, the sequel to The Jester. I did not produce the first one, but the studio behind the project, Epic Pictures, asked me to do the second one. We're very happy with it. It's coming out in theaters nationwide, September 15th and 16th. So just 2 nights, but it will be in theaters hopefully near you. There's a bunch of theaters already booked in the St. Louis and Kansas City and the sort of the Springfield and Cape Girardeau areas. So there's hopefully we're going to get some in mid-Missouri here pretty soon. So that's coming out. We did another project called The Mortuary Assistant based on the video game. That one was shot. The Jester 2 was shot in Columbia and Rocheport and Boonville. The Mortuary Assistant was in the Folk and Westphalia area. And then we, you know, we did a Christmas in Amish country. So a Christmas movie that'll be out this Christmas on Up TV that was shot in Russellville in California, Missouri and you know, doing a teaser for another video game project that we just shot in Jefferson City at the Missouri State Penitentiary. So I can't release the name to that one yet, but you know, a lot of projects and getting ready to start another one. So I'm gonna hopefully keep them going here in Missouri.
That's super exciting and always great to know everything that's been shot here in Missouri, because who doesn't love to support their own state? Now, circling back to Bang Bang, do you have one final elevator pitch for people as they go to watch Bang Bang?
If you want to see one of the greatest performances of Tim Blake Nelson and amongst a lot of other actors out there, check out Bang Bang this September when it hits theaters.
I absolutely agree. And Bang Bang hits select theaters on September 12th. Cole, thanks for talking with me this morning.
You're very welcome. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Of course.